Welcome back, everyone. Coming off 3 straight losses, we're going to head into Cleveland. And my plan actually is to wrap up the regular season in this video. We don't have any trades to worry about now that we're well past the trade deadline. The AA and AAA seasons are coming to an end soon, so we'll have some call-ups, but I'm just going to kind of let this roll. Don't think I'll play on the kind of every 5 or 6 game schedule that we've done for a lot of the season. Obviously, we've called audibles at certain points, like pretty much simming the whole month of July while we sorted out the signing of our draft picks. So we'll just kind of see what happens here. I'm going to play a couple innings of this game in Cleveland, see if we can pull off a much needed win over one of the best teams in the league. Looks like Reese Olson will be towing the rubber for us in this one. He's been one of our best pitchers throughout the course of the year and has gained, 3 rating points, I think. He's up to an 84 now. So Cleveland comes in 80 and 42. I think they're only behind the Dodgers in the standings. Pretty impressive stuff from them. Gavin Williams had a pretty good season, ERA 3.33. Let's see. I'm going to play, I guess I'll just play the first 3 innings, that's fine. I believe I played the first 3 innings my last game, that game against Boston. But I want to pitch with Olson. We probably could if we played 4-5-6 too. But what the heck. I suppose we make our own rules, right? So we'll just play the first 3. Looks like Riley Green has been heating up over the course of August. He's up to 274. I think that may be the highest that his average has been. Aside from, maybe he got 2 hits on opening day or something like that. Perfect 3-2 pitch there. 99 mile an hour fastball right on the black. I didn't time it up well. But I don't know that there was a whole lot I was doing with it, even if I did. Interested to see how my timing is in this one. It was pretty good the past couple of games that I played. I mean, quite frankly, better than average. I think normally my timing can be really hit or miss. Yeah, it was a terrible swing. I wonder, too, how much variability there's built into the timing system in terms of the difficulty. Since we're playing on Legend, I wonder if that makes it more likely that your timing's going to be inconsistent. Because, I mean, your timing is your timing. Whatever your eyes and your thumbs are doing theoretically would influence what your timing is, and obviously that is the majority of the input. But I wonder if the game sometimes also says, hey, on rookie this would be good timing, but on Legend it's going to be early, and how much that difficulty influences what the game's output is. Ooh, had a hanging slider there, but I missed it. Not a great inning, but honestly some pretty decent at-bats. For a 1-2-3 inning, we at least made Williams throw 20 pitches. So let's see what Olson has in the tank today. He's run a little bit hot and cold this year, but as of late, I think he's had many more good appearances than bad. Come on, Torkelson, make the play. Oh, he waited a long time to pick that ball up. Yeah, what are you going to do? Just try not to let that spiral us downward. I saw him taking an extra step off of first, so if he does that again, I'll probably throw over. Yeah, it looks like he is. his steal rating being what it is, I can't foresee him getting picked off in the conventional way, but maybe we can at least keep him close by throwing over. Oh man. 2 at-bats, 2 hits, both of which could have been outs. I mean, that one wasn't really anybody's fault. It was just kind of a bloop single. But it certainly wasn't solid contact. And hopefully this will be 2. And it will. Nice play by Neto there. 6-3 double play. And Jose Ramirez, who I think is having an MVP caliber season. He's up there in RBIs. I know he's up there in homers. He's hitting almost 300. So, very good career for him, but this might be his best season yet. It's hard to pitch guys, whether they're dangerous hitters like Ramirez or 190 guys at bottom live. It's hard to pitch them carefully with the classic pitching interface because there is just a lot of randomness in where the pitches go. I mean, you can certainly direct them and hope that they'll go in the location that they do. But by the same token, you can be trying to paint a corner and the ball goes right down the middle. Or, you know, you're trying to keep the ball out of the zone and it ends up smack dab in the middle of it. So I think I made a decent pitch to Ramirez there, but he was able to turn it into an RBI single anyways. Jimenez there just about swung at a fastball super high and inside, but it looks like it hit him before he went around. So we find ourselves in a bit of a situation here. Josh Bell could make this a sizable deficit really quickly. Oh boy, go foul. I think it's going fair. Yeah. It's been a tough luck inning. That's what, the 4th hit that we've allowed. 2 of them were just like textbook Texas League bloop singles. Alright, nice strikeout there. Needed to get that one. Some damage has been done anyways, but glad we were able to limit it. Tough first inning. We are still only 4 games back to the wild card, so as we trot through these absolute dog days of the season, we're still in the mix, which is pretty weird to think about given our talent level and kind of where we've been for most of the year. We got as close as 1 game back of the 3rd wild card spot, but then followed that up with a losing streak. So we'll see. We don't have many reinforcements, if any, coming from the minor leagues. Because by and large, our best players are all on the roster. Though I will say that we could probably beef up our bullpen a little bit. Beef is probably too strong of a verb for what the reinforcements would be bringing. But there is some talent in our AA and AAA systems that could probably replace our current bullpen guys. Gavin Williams throws an easy 100. Doesn't seem like it's going to be coming in that fast, and then all of a sudden it's on your doorstep. That slider, man, a lot of bite to that. Didn't look like it was nearly that low. Really good fastball on 3-1 there, painting the bottom part of the zone. I'll take a walk. I'll take whatever I can get at this point. Like I've said before, our lineup has really been decent. I mean, we don't have anybody hitting 300, but a lot of 260, 270s, even 250s scattered throughout. That's really not bad. Ooh, Matt Vierling. Did he do it? He sure did. How about that? Not normally a power threat. only his 5th on the year. He was hurt for much of the summer, but still, we'll take it. Tie game. I was a bit out in front of that slider, but obviously not too much in front of it. It's tough with that No Doubt camera because a lot of times I'm not able to pick the ball up right away. And I have seen some instances where they show that and then the ball goes foul. So in the instance, especially where it's down one of the lines, like down the left field line or right field line like that, it's kind of hard to know right away that it's actually going to stay fair. Well, we get a mini rally out of nowhere and tie the game up. So that's cool. We'll take it. Would absolutely love a shutdown inning from Olson here, especially facing the bottom of the Cleveland lineup. Get his pitch count back in order, keep the game tied. I'm going to start pumping more sinkers. I really like the sinker in general. But it's been a good pitch for Olson so far. They even got a strikeout with it in the bottom of the first, which I feel like you don't see quite as often as you do with other pitches, but we get another one there. Yeah, I'm going hashtag sinkers only right now, I think. At least until they hit it. Man, we got Cleveland way off balance with the sinker, so Olson serves up some bowling balls. Perfect slider. I'm surprised I was so late on that. Didn't feel like a very late, but my timing's been bad. I think honestly I've gotten a bit spoiled. It's not that frequent that I have faced guys who throw 100 miles an hour. So I think that is actually causing problems. Because I'm so used to seeing maybe like 93 or 94. And at first, when I first started playing this game, it took me a while to adjust to the 93, 94 miles an hour because I was just always super early. I think part of it too is playing on a computer monitor instead of a TV. I don't know if it's the frame rates or what it is that causes your reaction time to maybe be like over exaggerated a little bit. But it's taken me a while to get used to it. So now I'm having to unlearn it a little bit facing someone like Williams. Although it is cool, it's nice when facing triple digits is actually a bit of a problem and a bit intimidating. It's really not too fun to play a baseball game where you can face an 101 mile an hour fastball and it looks like it's coming in no problem. Riley Green goes Yabo too. Interesting, both of the homers that we've hit, we haven't even had good timing. Both of them have been early. But all of a sudden we're up 3-2. Green's 15th on the year. I think that's the second consecutive game that I've homered with Riley. How about that?
That's a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Haas has been our best power hitter this year. I've still yet to hit a homer with him. Also facing his former team here. He was originally a Guardian. Ooh, we'll put a charge into that one, but I don't think it's enough. Yeah. Good timing, fastball down the middle. But can of corn for maybe Miles Straw left. Not totally sure who's playing left for Cleveland today. Or maybe Quan. Alright, sinkers only. Let's keep it up. Oh man. Just outside, but really nice pitch. let's hope that doesn't spiral. We've had some control issues in the past. Ty Madden probably being the most noteworthy example. He had like 4 walks in an inning, it felt like at one point. Ooh, we got lucky there because not only was that looking like extra bases, but also Kwan was gone. So I'm going to try to splitter here. At least just throw him off the scent of the sinker for a minute. Olsen has no confidence in his fastball, so I'm not sure how worthwhile it would be to throw that. Hopefully we can turn 2 here. The buttons, man. I don't know what it is. I've said this before. I need to go into practice mode and just field grounders. I preload the double plays, and sometimes it works, and other times I just get the guy standing there, and I am smashing the button and nothing's happening, so I gotta figure that out. I don't know why that's such a problem for me. The always dangerous Jose Ramirez. All right, here we go, another try. There we go. We'll take it. We will certainly take it. All right, let's send this one out, see what we get, if anything. Cleveland ties it up. All right, that was probably Olsen's last inning. We take the lead. Yeah, Olsen's done. So let's bring in Chirinos. He's listed as, well, I guess he's just listed as a starter because that's his like player bio position. But yeah, Chirinos is pitching. All right, good win. Needed to have it if we want to stay relevant in this playoff race. And after a pretty rough first inning where it looked like it was going to be more of the same against Cleveland, and with our struggles here, we were able to straighten things out. Green was a single away from the cycle. And I want to say that's the second time he's been within 1 hit of a cycle in the past month or so. So good stuff there. Chirinos clean 2 innings. Olsen pitched pretty well. Wasn't missing too many bats and walked some guys, but all in all, good performance. So that's a nice win. In the past, the Tigers have been decimated by Cleveland. I want to say there was 1 year where the Tigers were actually competitive and kind of in the playoff race for a lot of the year, but they lost they played 21 games against Cleveland, and I think they lost 17 or 18, and so I don't know what our record has been against the Guardians this year, but it has not been good. So that's a really nice win to get. Let's simulate through the rest of this month and then just evaluate our call-ups and kind of see what changes we need to make. At this point, I don't really want to deal with the lineups of the minor leaguers, so they can just handle that. All right. We can just do auto utilize. Turnbull's hurt again. I think he'll be ready for his next start, though. Okay, I can't imagine. Oh, that's a bummer. These guys are dropping like flies. I guess I'll put him on the 10-day just in case he comes back and we're still in the mix. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. But what I do want to do, first and foremost, is put Cade Povich on the can't do it from there. I want to put him on the 10-day IL, or I guess it's 15 now. That doesn't make any sense. So Torkelson gets hurt. Povich is still hurt. Turnbull got hurt. Let's check the standings. We're still only 4.5 back. I mean, there's a lot of traffic between us and that spot. So it's not like we have a kind of a clear runway here, but we're still in the mix despite a very underwhelming month. I'm not going to look at every game, but I'm curious how many times the bullpen blew games in this series. There's one. There's another one. And debatable. I guess we can say that they didn't blow this one. I would say probably more likely our 4 errors were a problem there. But yeah, bullpen lets us down there. Win a series against Houston, which is one of our competitors for that last spot. So, all right, let's. Doesn't look like we have the option to like set our September call-ups or anything right now. So I guess we'll just leave that be until we sim through this day. I don't care what you do there. And bullpen. A Corbin special. And more errors. Woof. Riley Green continues to hit well. He's almost up to 280. That's great to see. But, alright. So let's make our call-ups. Maybe they've already been made. So let's see. Job is up to a 79, so we can call him up. And what do we have? We have, looks like 3 spots available. So this is something I'm a bit in the dark on, is how the rosters have changed with the expanded roster. Because I remember, like, back in my day, as one would say, I remember it being 40 in September, where you went from 25 to 40. And so maybe does it go to 40 probably after the AA and AAA seasons end? I guess that would make sense. But let's call up Job. Probably just pitch him out of the bullpen for now. And Kerry Carpenter, he's had a decent season in AAA. 17 homers, 261 average. Greg Jones it's actually remarkable how much his stats in AAA mirror his stats in the majors. He just has absolutely stunk up the joint this year. So I don't think he's really worth much of our time or energy. I don't know. The thing is, like, you can call whoever you want up. Maybe I'd call up McKinnon. That would make sense. He can play first base. But you can call these guys up, but you're not going to play them anyways. So I don't really see the point. But what I could do is plug McKinnon in at first at least. And give him that PT. This lineup is a mess. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when the computer gets involved. I really don't know that it's worth changing though, because the computer just does whatever they want when you sim the games out. Which is, I mean, it's fine. I don't know that it really makes all that much of a difference anyway. But it's certainly seeding any locus of control. Ty Madden has gotten up to an 80. I mean, really, our staff, the performance hasn't been remarkable, although Joey Wentz has been really good. 2.55 ERA. So that's pretty cool to see. But yeah, I mean, our staff has been pretty good. The development's been good. We've seen a bunch of overalls jump up. So let's see the award races here. Ohtani, Trout. I mean, this is the most stereotypical Angels season of all time, I feel like. Although they have gotten themselves in the mix, they're still 2 games under 500, 12 and a half back in the division. And Ohtani and Trout are both having maybe their best years ever at the same time. Schwarber could potentially be in the mix for 50 homers. It's going to be tough to hit 13 in a month, but we'll see. A couple Cleveland guys fighting it out for the Cy Young, although I would imagine Joey Wentz would be in the also receiving votes category with his 2.55 ERA. Batting title, Conforto has kept it up. Amazing. And Lourdes Gurriel spent most of the year on the trade block. Let's see. interesting to see Spencer Steer here and not Ellie De La Cruz. Tanner Beebe, I mean, he might win Cy Young, so it makes sense that he'd be Rookie of the Year too. See how many steals Acuna has. Only 27, and I say only because he's got 60-some in real life. All right. Check the standings real quick, and we'll get back into the action, if you can call simulating games action. Wildcard race, Yankees and Rays seem pretty comfortable. I guess it's just a matter of who will be the 1-2. And then we have a whole mess behind them. We're still only 5 games back, but Mariners have surged ahead of us. Twins are ahead of us. Astros, Angels, Blue Jays ahead of the spot. So there's a lot going on there. Braves and Phillies still seem to be locked in a good battle. The Mets not too far behind. NL Central is still a mess, although at least the Cubs, who are now leading it, are 500 most of the year. The leader has been under 500, which has been Milwaukee for a good chunk of the season. Looks like the Cardinals have also added some relevance to the race, winning 7 of their last 10. Dodgers, I mean, they're 86 and 47, and they have lost 8 of 10. What does that tell you about where they're at and how their performance has been this year? So if they continue to slump and the Padres get hot, maybe San Diego could catch them, but Padres seem pretty comfortably cruising to second place in the NL West and first wild card. And this race is kind of similar. A little more distance between that last wild card team and the teams behind them, but we have a whole clump of teams that are 4, 5.5, 6 games back. Orioles hold on to a 5.5 game lead. They've pretty much controlled the division all the way through. And then, I mean, this division's been over for a while, so Cleveland could wrap it up within a week, and AL West is pretty much over too. So interesting stuff league-wide. Let's see. Maybe play one more game. Maybe we could play our last game of the season. I guess we'll see if we end up needing to play any of these. You know, I don't know that we would really need to. Some of our best stretches of the year have happened when we weren't playing at all. But we'll see if we rip off another winning streak and make things really interesting, or if we just kind of continue to stumble blindly through the dark. So we made our call-ups. Let's keep on simming. Yeah, I figured it would tell me that things were broken. The Mud Hens only got, well, they got a pretty full September schedule. So I guess maybe that's another element of the 40-man roster not being a thing anymore, is do they extend the minor league seasons a little bit? I feel like I remember a lot of times these seasons would end maybe mid-September, early September, which would clear the way for the 40-man rosters. Although in retrospect, you know, like I was saying, it really doesn't make any sense to have 40 guys on your major league roster, because you're only going to play max. I guess let's let Miggy DH for his swan song here. You're maximum, you're going to play, you know, 30 guys. You know, maybe if you're really rotating guys, you could get 31, 32, have some pinch runners or defensive substitutions. But it's kind of just a waste. I mean, I guess if you stock it full of pitchers, then you can really keep your bullpen fresh, but all right, so they're forcing you to have 28. You don't have the option to have less, so fine. I might actually just call up Cabrera. He has gotten a lot worse as the year has gone on. I think he started the year as a 69. He's been okay in AAA. Whatever, let's call up Cabrera. And now I need to fix the AAA lineup. Let's put Steele Walker in there. Okay. Let's see if we can actually simulate it. There's probably something else that's busted. No, we're good. Although I should say we are not good. It's Cabrera's moment. All right. Yeah, so we're probably dead in the water here. Angels have gone on a run. I mean, good for them. It's good for fans of baseball if Ohtani and Trout are playing in the postseason. And Angels fans, I mean, they won that title in 2002, but it's not like they've been rolling in championships left and right. NL Central is still a mess. Cardinals holding on to a half-game lead with their 3 games under 500 record. Dodgers have heated up. The Padres are on fire. So this will be a really cool race to monitor down the stretch here. Padres have won 10 in a row. Dodgers hold them off with 5 in a row. Orioles, a bit of a skid. The Yankees haven't completely capitalized, but it's a little close there. And Guardians have wrapped this one up. So interesting stuff. I think we need to. I mean, I'm not going to plug Cabrera in. I'll play Sheldon. You know, it's something that would be worth doing for the memes, maybe. But Cabrera's so bad. I mean, he's a 64. So I always want to check games with a shutout just to make sure that a no-hitter didn't happen. And this is a Turnbull specialty. 10 hits, but no runs. We got the win there. Beat the Yankees in New York in a series. That was cool. We've struggled a lot against the White Sox this year, though. We got swept by them earlier this year in a 4-game series, I think. So let's just keep on chugging along. Ah, boy. Who should I call up? I don't know. I am just gonna leave Mize in the minors for now. With him being hurt, recovering from Tommy John in real life, I suppose that's just the best thing to do, given that was our decision from the jump and we're not in any position to say we should change it. Oh boy. Okay, so I need another player, so I call up another player. Oh, but not that kind of player. Can't have too many pitchers, you see, because that's a problem. Alright, so plug him back in. I guess we can call up Malloy. Might as well. He's not on the 40-man roster. We have no space on him. It's just, if it's not one thing, it's another. How about Isaac Pacheco? He's not on the 40-man roster either. Okay. Fine. Come on up, Kerry Carpenter. That's just fine. And then let's fix the AAA lineup. By the way, the Mud Hens have like nobody left. They have no bench players. They're kind of in the mix a little bit. Let's see, is Erie contending for a playoff spot? I don't know how this works. I'm guessing not. I know they have like 2 halves of the season. Yeah, so it looks like maybe the Eastern keeps the full season record, but then the Southern splits it. They do a first half winner and a second half winner. So I don't really know how that all works. Mud Hens, not really in the race, so that's fine. It's not like we're handcuffing a team that has a chance to actually do anything. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, just auto. I don't even, whatever. Just do it. Okay. How is that even possible to have 41 guys on our 40-man roster? Like, when you get to 40, it says, no, you can't add another one. But apparently we added another one. So how do we do that? Let's look here. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. Just do it. Yeah, of course. Fix it. Alright, so let's pause here, look at a couple of things. Shutout win here. Carpenter is apparently playing, so why not? Sure, makes sense. I don't know what happened to Riley Green. Maybe he just had the day off. We won a series against the Reds. Playing the Angels next. I do just want to really quickly plug Povich into, and he is already, so that's good. I want to make sure he was starting for the Hens. All right, let's keep it moving. I gotta say, just because of all these notifications, I'm really looking forward to the minor league season being over, just so we don't have to keep dealing with this. Oh man, it's his second broken arm this season. I think his first time he got hurt, it was a broken arm too. All right, what a mess. So we got wiped out by the LA teams, and Chirinos blew a save. His ERA is kind of ballooned up from what it was, but we managed to rally and win that one, so that's kind of cool. Tyler Nevin has cooled off to the point of being Mr. Freeze. He's now hitting 250. So I suppose he didn't have a ton of staying power with his surge. But yeah, we have fallen on hard times, which at this point is honestly fine. You know, we don't have to be out and out tanking or anything, but there's really no need to be winning games now that we're out of the race. We might as well lose, quite frankly. So McKinnon is a right fielder. I can play McKinstry in left, or Carpenter. I guess we'll play McKinstry because he's a B, whereas Carpenter is C potential. I guess we'll just do that. That shouldn't matter. And we'll play him there. Yeah, this lineup is a complete mess. Why? What? I mean, okay, the no DH lineup doesn't really matter, as noted. But like, why is Riley Green on the bench for any of these lineups? Whatever. All right. Let's check in on the standings. So Orioles and Yankees are deadlocked in a tight one. They're both going to the playoffs, but Orioles continue to struggle. Yankees have been playing pretty well. The Rays aren't too far behind either. They're running out of time, but they do have a chance to potentially steal the AL East. Guardians cruising. Angels still playing really well, so I'm guessing they're in a really good position for a wild card spot. I'm interested to see if Alex Lang has been pitching really well for them, and you know, check in on the guys that we sent over there. So I'll do that after we look at the standings. Yeah, let's check the wild card here. So obviously one of these two teams is going to win the division, so you can kind of just eliminate one of them from the standings here mentally. So the Angels are in a pretty good spot. They're 2 games clear of the Astros, and then everyone else is kind of bringing up the rear without a whole lot of intimidation or threat or anything. Everyone else is at least 4 games under 500. Braves have pulled away from the Phillies, so I'm guessing Philly had a pretty rough start to the month. They've only won 4 of their last 10 anyways, but maybe they had a long losing streak in there somewhere. Cubs, Brewers, and Cardinals continue their pillow fight, and the Reds have introduced themselves into the mix just a little bit. So actually, it's kind of funny because them losing 2-3 to us was their low point this month, it seems like, because otherwise they've been playing really well. And the Padres cooled off a touch. Dodgers continue to win handfuls of games. So the Diamondbacks have had a good month. I know they were, I want to say 64-70, maybe the last time we checked this. So they've put themselves in the mix. They're only 1 game behind the Mets. So let's check on, get rid of those, and then let's check on the Angels. So Anthony Rendon on fire apparently. He's at 25 homers. Not bad for having one of the worst contracts in the history of Major League Baseball. Trout has been an animal. I want to see what his WAR is. Yeah, approaching double digits. Not quite his 2018 season, but still really good. And Ohtani has produced almost 4 WAR as a pitcher and 5.2 WAR as a hitter. So pretty spectacular stuff. I'm actually wondering why. Maybe it's just because he doesn't play the field. Why he's only at 5.2 WAR. That must be the reason why. Because hitting wise, his numbers are outstanding. I mean, almost 400 OBP, 300 average, 33 homers. He's stolen 21 bases. Can't ask for a whole lot more. I'm going to be really interested to see if we can throw an offer his way this offseason. So let's check. Let's see, Alex Lang. Kind of hard to separate his stats out with the Angels, but he's been pretty good. I mean, when he went over, he still had a 0 ERA, but that was only in 11 or 12 innings pitched. So he's been legitimately good. Looks like I guess he hasn't been their closer because he was our closer, and I think that's when he racked up all of his saves. But been a good option for them out of the pen. And then let's see, Lorenzen. I think he's pitched decently. At first, I actually didn't realize that I was sending him right back to LA where he just came from. But yeah, he pitched all right. I mean, his ERA when he went over there was in the 6s or 7s. So he's been a positive WAR player. So that's cool. I'm glad that the trade has worked out for them and that they've put themselves in the mix. I'm also interested to look at Baltimore and see how Eduardo Rodriguez has been doing. It looks like he's hurt, but it looks like he kind of settled in too and had a pretty good season, all things considered. He went over there with another ERA in the 6s or 7s, and he's been about a 3 WAR pitcher, so good for Eduardo, good for the Orioles. See what his injury is. Shoulder pulled, but he's supposed to be back soon. David Bednar. What the heck, man? 99 overall. I mean, he has good numbers, but for being a 99, you don't see 99 overall hardly ever in this game. I don't know if, I mean, I think like DeGrom is a 99. Let me check. Just a quick scan. Ohtani isn't, what the heck does that say? DeGrom is not at all 89, not even close. So, wow, that's really something. David Bednar just turning up on behalf of everyone. All right, so I needed to fix something here, I think. Maybe I already did it. The AA lineup is screwed up. All right. Can he play? No. Can anybody play second? Anybody at all? All right, so what I'll do, Trey Cruz, he can play second. So we'll do that, and we'll just do that. That doesn't matter. And looks like the lineup is fine. All right. Can we simulate? And they're done anyways, so what are we even doing? What ends up one more game? Oh boy. It's always something, isn't it? Okay, we gotta call up one more player. Let's just call up somebody from AAA to make things easier, or AA, I should say. So that's fine. Come on up to the bullpen. It's not on the 40-man though. But we do have room in our 40-man. But if we have room in our 40-man, we should add someone who we're actually going to use, like Justin Henry Malloy. So let's add him. He should be on the 40-man anyways. Let's call him up, and then we need to fix our lineup because they still have one more game. All right, kind of a sad ending for Cabrera, playing first base in AAA for his last career game. Maybe we'll call him up for our final game and put him in the lineup. Just for old time's sake, might as well. Not like we have anything to play for. Don't need to stop simulating. Let's see what happened in this Oakland game. Bunch of hits for sure. Everyone got one. Homers all around. I think that is what I'm going to do. I'll simulate through this. And then let's play at least part of this last game, and let's bring up Cabrera and plug him in. Yeah, what a mess in this first game, but won our next 3, so we have a chance to win our final 2 series here, and the season was 74 wins. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to, let's see, who should I send down? I don't want to use anybody's options. Yeah, I'd really rather not. Is there anybody I can send down without using their option? That's my main question right now. I guess Carpenter, he's been playing well, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the end of the season. I will call up Cabrera, and he is going to start in our final game here. So Tristan McKenzie taking the mound for the Guardians. I'll have the Guardians wearing their blues. Always like those jerseys. We're not going to play in the rain. Normally I just kind of let the weather be whatever it's going to be, but we're not going to play in the rain. That doesn't make sense. Olsen will take the mound. Looks like he's dropped a rating point. I think he got up to 84 at the beginning of this video, but still 83. And Joey Wentz is up to an 83. Quick scan. Job was at an 80. Honestly, I'm a little tempted to just start Job and see what we got. Maybe I will. Why not? And then let's add, what the heck? Play the field. Why not? Hit third. Why not? I'll hit Neto second. And actually, I'll do this. These guys are super tired, but season's over, so it's fine. They'll survive. Let's get Malloy in there too. Just want to see how he plays. And Evan did hit 13 homers when it was all said and done. I mean, really not too bad. Haas with 22, Neto with 23. Man, what a beast. Check his WAR real quick. Only 3.4. I mean, still really good, but not as high as I would have expected. And we can look through all this stuff later, but curious there. Okay. Let's hit Malloy 5th. And actually, let's do this. Yeah, looks good. All right. Let's finish out our season, see if we can end the season on a little mini, I guess it would be a one-game winning streak because we lost our last game to Cleveland, but Job making his major league debut as a starter. And with that distinctive number 4, I think that is actually his number in the minors, or at least it has been at one part of his journey, so we'll see if that continues. Only 20 years old, already an 80 potential, or 80 overall B potential. I'm gonna try the Mr. Snappy here. Yeah. Not the easiest lineup to earn your chops against, but we got nothing to lose, so might as well. Good curveball there. And yeah, so I'm guessing ever since we called him up, he hasn't pitched much, if at all. But in any event, that's his first career strikeout. Hopefully many more to come. And another walk there. Haven't been too lucky with these counts, though. I've been starting, I think, with 2 balls in pretty much all of them so far, so that doesn't help. Ooh, potential double play here, although Ramirez is probably going to be able to run that one out. Yeah. It was big, though, not to walk him, quite frankly. And another 2-ball count. I think Job, his profile has been thrown a lot harder than 93 and 94, but it's working for now. Another strikeout there. We get out of the first. And I think what I'm going to do, I'll play out this bottom of the first, and then I'm just going to sim ahead to Cabrera's at-bats and just play those. A sad conclusion to one of the best careers in Major League history. I mean, certainly one of the very best Tigers in their franchise history. A lot of great memories. I remember Cabrera went deep in his Tiger debut on opening day in 2008. A team that we thought was going to be 1,000 runs and 100 wins and nothing between us and a World Series, and instead ended in last place. But that was a bright spot of that season for sure. And then I remember too, Cabrera I think it was in his Triple Crown season, which was 2012, I want to say. That might be getting out of here. Nope. There was a moment where he homered against the Royals to walk off a game in the bottom of the ninth. And it was one of those like movie kind of situations where the slugger's coming up and you're saying, oh, wouldn't it be something if he hit a homer here? And then he actually did. And whenever you get those moments, it's so special when the athlete delivers on the movie moment in real life. And then I remember the next day they played, it was a Sunday afternoon game, and it was against the Royals again, and his first at bat he hit another homer. So it was back-to-back at bats, and at this point he had hit like 40 on the year or something, and it just seemed like he was unstoppable. And it was really cool. I went to a game, I think it was 2010 against Oakland, where Cabrera hit 3 homers, all solo, and the Tigers lost 4-3. So that was an interesting experience. But yeah, I mean, one of the best players in league history. At various points, seemed like a pretty bad dude. He had some sort of incident with alcohol, and there's a bunch of other off-the-field stuff that I don't really know the particulars of, but I do know that it seemed like he wasn't the best guy, but he was a good player. And I mean, I guess that's a fair way to remember anybody really in history is, didn't seem like a very good guy, but he was very good at what he did, and what he did provide fond memories for a lot of people. So, complicated figure for sure. And I mean, it is interesting, whenever you have these situations. All right, Cabrera's up. Whenever you have these situations where you have the, superstar riding off into the sunset, he's been a shell of himself for a while now. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time that Cabrera came up in a big situation in a Tigers game and I felt like anything crazy was about to happen. So, in a way, it's like he's been retired already for a while, just because it's like, well, he's been gone for quite some time. Even if he's still been playing, it's not nearly the same kind of experience as it was. So that produces kind of an interesting dynamic where it's like, yeah, he's gone, but he was already gone. Been gone for a while. So Job did a decent job. And he's going to finish with 5 earned runs, but good lineup. Especially for his major league debut. Can't ask for a ton more. So this is probably going to be the final at-bat. Maybe we get a walk here. I guess I must have missed one of the at-bats accidentally, because he got a hit in there somewhere, and I know I wasn't responsible for that, so I guess I botched that. But that's going to be it, barring a miracle comeback. Here, I guess I'll just simulate this out one at a time. Yep. So that's an end to our season. That's an end to Cabrera's career, and maybe the career of some others. I mean, we have a pretty young roster, so I don't think there's any necessarily like obvious candidates that would fall into that. Cool that Cabrera got a hit in his last game. I don't know how I missed the simulation. I guess I was just rambling too much. But that's an end to that, and an end to an interesting season for sure. I think we saw some growth from a lot of players. I mean, Joey Wentz, I'll do just a quick little overview and post-mortem of the season. Joey Wentz was fabulous. ERA in the 2s, pitched 200 innings. Couldn't have asked for any more, really, from him. I mean, he was one of the best pitchers in the league this year. It looks like we kind of tailed off down the stretch, but Madden came up and pitched decently. Still walking too many guys, but all things considered, not bad for a debut season. Skubal was up and down for sure, but finished with 3.2 WAR, the exact same amount he had in 2022, in 11 more starts. So on one hand, you say, well, not bad. On the other hand, you say you had a ton more starts and you were in no way, shape, or form a better pitcher. Olson was legitimately good. He finished with an 8-13 record, but who cares? And we've dispelled the myth that records were important for starting pitchers a long time ago. But 1.6 WAR, not bad at all. His FIP wasn't as good as his actual ERA. So you never love to see that, but he was decent. And Turnbull as an ace, I mean, certainly not the kind of stat line that you would hope you'd have for a staff ace, but really was pretty good. 3.5 WAR, FIP of 3.58. So came through with a lot of really good performances, and I mean, pitched great. There were sometimes he got shelled, but all in all, he pitched really well, I would say. Over the grand scheme, over the total evaluation of his season, Job looks really promising. 80 overall, only 20 years old, so he'll probably start the season in the majors next year. And the bullpen, it's not really worth examining on an individual basis, but it was pretty bad, all things considered. Holton was all right. Foley ended the year all right too. But yeah, a lot of guys who won't be back next year. Corbin will be, just because we have his contract for one more year. But we'll see if we can't ship him out early on, or otherwise just kind of bury him somewhere and move forward, having freed ourselves from the Javi Baez contract. Wencio Perez, first of all Star in his rookie year, so that's cool. Had a decent year. Ended up being a positive WAR player, which is kind of sad that is a sign of, hey, you did a nice job. You weren't below replacement level, but we'll take it. McKinstry started off the year really good and ended up just fine. 2.3 WAR. I mean, you can't ask for a ton more than that, given he was a 70-ish. I think he started the year at 70 maybe, or 69. So he gained some rating points. He's a bit older. He's 27, so we'll see if that impacts his development. Neto's a stud, absolute, just fantastic return from the Angels, and I mean, I can see him being our shortstop for the next insert here years. He was really good. Haas had a good year, 22 homers, matching his career high from 2021. Almost had the exact same stat line, a touch better average-wise and OBP-wise, but really similar. Worth way more WAR this year than that. I'm guessing it was maybe because he wasn't playing the outfield as much. He's a pretty bad outfielder, so that might have been a cause of that improvement there. Riley Green, breakout year. He was terrific. So just like with Neto, I can see us penciling him in at his spot for the foreseeable future. And then we just kind of go into some more random guys. Nick Maton had a pretty good year. I guess his fielding ended up being a problem when all was said and done. 9 errors and 0.7 WAR, but not bad with the bat. I want to look for better fielders, quite frankly. More speed, better fielders, kind of, the tenets that I talked about in the beginning of this rebuild. Just trying to build around, obviously, more talent, but specifically more speed and more defense. Rogers is pretty good. I don't love his potential or his overall. But if we went into next season with him as the starting catcher, wouldn't be the end of the world. Hopefully he can be a backup catcher. But I guess we'll see what happens with Haas. Not totally sure what we're going to do there. So that's pretty much that. Real quick, let's just, we'll start off the next video by kind of wrapping up the season. But let's just check real quick, see who's going to the playoffs. Angels did make it in. Looks like the Orioles and Yankees have come right down to the wire, and the Orioles won the division on a tiebreaker. Guardians, of course, won there. Angels, as we mentioned, won the wild card. Rangers won the West. So it'll be Yankees, Rays, Angels joining the Rangers, Guardians, and Orioles. And then Padres, Phillies, Mets, Diamondbacks still have to sort that out. So we'll see the outcome there in the next episode. Dodgers will have home field should they play the Guardians. Cubs, Brewers are still fighting it out, and then the Braves won the East. So thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.